Okay, welcome back guys to part 10 of this Laravel forum software tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to add categories and load up the category page. So first of all, let's start with the category page, and for that we have to have a route, which we already have. Very good. Form category, and that will take the ID. Okay, so what we want to do is go to our controller or our controller method. So form controller adds category, not group. Why do I have group there? Category, and then controllers, form controller category. And do we have a view already? No, we don't. So we will just do return view make, and we want to return forum.category, which we will make in a second. And we want to send some data with it, because of course we want to have the category. So let's do this. Let's create a variable. So category equals form category, which is one of our models. Find, which will get which will look up the ID for that model, and we want to find the category which has the ID that the URL had in it. Next, because remember that last video we made a relationship to the threads, so we are going to also send with it the threads for that. So threads equals category threads, like so. Now, of course, for safety measure, we want to do an if statement here and say if category equals null, because of course people can just go to the URL /forum/category and type in a random number that wouldn't have to exist, and we want to catch that. So we want to say if the category doesn't exist with that ID, I will just return them to, I will just redirect them to the forum homepage, redirect routes, and I forgot the name, forum home, and I want to send with that a fail that, double quotes, that category doesn't exist. Because remember, in our views and master, so layouts master, we have this piece of code here which will alert those messages. So we want to say, nope, sorry, we don't have that category, and we want to send with threads. So let's do that with category and with threads, and if that's the threads, geez, I can't type today. So let's make that view. So in our forum, create a new file, call it category.blade.php, and this will extend layouts.master and section head and content. Okay, section head, and show the parents, and for good measure give it a title, and let's say that we want this forum and then pipe character like that, and then the category name. So because remember we gave it the category, so category title, and close that section off. Then I want a section content, Jesus, and stop that, and a JavaScript which we can more or less copy from this one over here. like so. and indent that, and indent that. Excuse me. So that's our JavaScript. Now, of course, since this JavaScript is present in almost every forum page, you also could create a forum layout, so a forum master layout, and extend all forums up there, and just let that layout extend master. But that is for you to figure out with the job documentation and what you know from this video. So in this section, I can also just copy what's in index here because it's more or less the same. So let's just do that, like so. Okay, now let's, from top to bottom, let's look at what we got here. So we got an add group here. Now, of course, we are in a category, so this button should be a add thread. And I don't know if we already have a route for that, so let's just check that. No, we don't, so let's create one. And this will be a post route as well. So we will do route post. Oh wait, this is in the admin. Now, make sure, because we just want people to be logged in for that. So let's just create another group here, route group, and do an array with the filter before on, because thread should be started by anybody, or should be able to be started. Anybody should be able to create a new thread. So now that's done, let's create a route get first of all. So slash thread slash let's see. So I want to slash thread slash new, but first I want to pass in the ID of the category because we want to know where to store it, and then slash new, like so. And then let's add an array at the back which says uses forum controller at store thread as forum store thread, like so, and create another route group with an array here before, and again this is the CSRF filter because we don't want people to hack our database, and give that a callback function, and add the same route here, but I am just going to make it a post, or let's say add new thread, because this is going to return like the page with the form on it, and this is going to actually store the thread. So this is get forum get new thread, and this is forum store thread. Okay, so now that we have those routes set up, let's go into our category view and change the href by using the URL route. So URL route forum get new thread, and of course we want the, because this route has the URL parameter of the category ID, so let's pass that in here, ID, and that can just be inside the route method as the second argument. And we can remove this is admin, but we do want to keep the auth check because they have to be logged in. So then the button can be the same, data toggle. We don't want it to toggle a modal, so this can go, and we can say add thread. So that's that done, and I remember now I had to show you something else as well. Inside the index page, we have this button delete to delete the group, we also have to make sure that they're logged in to see that. So what we're going to do is inside the panel heading, we're going to create an if statement. So if auth check render this, else, because of course we also have an add, else and if, because we also have an add category button, and that's also inside a check if they're logged in. So we can just completely do this and get rid of this button there and get rid of this div over here, because if they are logged in but they are, and user is admin, of course. So if they are logged in and they're an admin, they should be able to like change the forum. If they're not, they should just see the group title. So that was just what I wanted to show you. Okay, back to the category. So that concludes that button over there. Now moving down, we don't need a for each loop because there will only be one panel with the category inside. So let's remove that and bring this back. And we got that, so we got a panel heading, and again here we have a, let's give this a category ID because you know we want to delete the category, and then data toggle, and we do category delete like so, button danger pull right deletes group. Now we'll keep the class the same because that way we don't have to change anything in our JavaScript. And we say just delete. That is all right. And in here again, an if statement, if auth check and auth user is admin, like so. Else, they don't need any of these options. They can just enjoy the category, because of course this is category title. Moving down, we have the panel with the list group. Now here we do need a for each loop, however we need it for the threads. So for each thread as threads as thread. Now let's change this up like so, and zoom back in, and change this to thread all at once. So you have to make sure that this is a thread here, and we don't need this check here. We can get rid of that, and just make sure that the word category doesn't exist within this for each loop. So that's all the forum threads. Does that route check out? Let me just make sure. Forum thread, yes. Great. See? Okay. So now we have this mode. We now have to check the modals. So I have this first modal which adds a group. Now we don't need it because we cannot add anything to this page using a modal. Then we have this group delete. Now we change that to category delete, and let's change all this deletes group to delete category, and I sure do want to delete this category, and we can keep this the same, button delete group. However, we do want to change this here, so we want to button delete category. And in here as well. Now as I'm thinking, category delete. No, we do need to change this. So we want to do delete category on there. Just to make the JavaScript work out, and we'll do the JavaScript in a bit. And that includes the add.js and shows the modal if anything is wrong. Now we don't need this modal. because again there's no form in a module, so we don't need to show it as if there are any errors. So let's get the JavaScript sorted out. So let's go to public JavaScript app.js, and we can do like so dot delete category click function events, and put a semicolon there, and we want to say hash button delete category dot prop ref is slash form dash category slash and then plus events dot target dot id plus slash delete. And I also want to check if that route is existing, so form category slash delete, so routes, and it doesn't, so let's just copy that and paste it down below and say slash category id delete uses for delete category as form delete category, and that's that. So let's create that method now. Delete group and public function delete category, and this is basically the same as the delete group method, so just copy it over and we will just look at it again. So first of all, we want to change all of the group things to categories. So category, awesome. Now of course it is not a form group but a form category we have to find, and we want to redirect them home and say that category doesn't exist. Now we don't need the categories in there because we already have that, so we want the threads and the comments, and we don't need this check over here, and we don't need this check over there, so we can just say if threads is greater than 0, del co, yes, and if we can just delete that first, and that should work out great. And of course we want to redirect them home because that category doesn't exist anymore, or like the form home, I mean. So let's make sure this works. Reload the page. Now the reason why I did this before is when you logged out and you went to forums, and that doesn't look very good. Oh dear, what did I do? Oh, I think I know. When you go to index.php, I added this if statement. You want, in this else thing, you want to remove the pull left. Like so. Yes, that's better. Now you can see the button is completely gone. So let's log back in. Like so, and go to forums, and we can add a group. Oh wait, we have to actually add a category first. Oh well, we will do that in the next video. But to make sure that the category works, let's just open the PHP myadmin and go to the database and go forum categories, insert test category 1, group ID, oh shit, 1, okay, group ID 1, author ID is I think also 1, yep, 1, this is now, and let's do this again, test category, wow, 2, group ID 1, now, and go. Okay, we have the categories, so refresh the page, they show up, awesome, we click it, and we did do something wrong. Syntax error, unexpected end of file. Let's have a look there. Okay, open the text area editor and go to category.late.php. What did we miss? Oh, there, we didn't end this if statement. So before the stop, add an end if. I think that should fix it. Great, and we now have the category with a delete button and add thread button. So that was it for today. I hope to see you next time when we actually add the category through the button. And yeah, see you next time. Okay guys, so another thing I need to test of course is the delete button. Let's see if it works. Click delete. Are you sure you want to delete this category? Yes, I am. An unknown defined variable ID. Okay, because we forgot to pass it to the controller. So let's do that up here because it does exist. Reload the page and say yes, the category was deleted, and as you can see it doesn't exist. So that was really the end of this video, and I hope to see you next time.